All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're having fun this morning. I have clients from 30, I don't know if it's 40 years ago, 30 or whatever years, bringing the old kit. Wow. You got to test the dust off of that. The big ugly cassettes, okay?
From his grandfather.
Here, for his grandfather. Now you're making real feel old, okay? Generation to generation, that's good. Okay, and all my little kits that I had at all the stationery stores, you know, the forms, the resolutions, how you do things, you know, been around a long, long time. Okay, next year's my 50th year. Got to go on that business trip. Now today, tab and pen time. All right, I got a bunch of questions that were emailed to me, so I'm going to go through this as well. Can you buy a house with bad credit? Yes and no. Okay, let's put it this way. Yes, you could. Is it difficult? It's almost impossible. So I'll say 1 out of 100, maybe 1 out of 1,000 can. What does this mean? For instance, today, if we have bank statements, let's talk about bank statements. You have basically, they'll get a bank statement, all right, loan for you. Okay, again, it's not the perfect loan, but again, you get a house. So if you use your bank statements for the last 12 months and you can verify, let's say 7,000 to 10,000 a month, could you get it with bad credit? Yes. But is that underwriter going to check your credit anyway? Yes. When they see it's really destroyed, are they going to give you the loan? Probably not. So could you do it? Yes. Can we leverage money? Okay, here's Grant, my old client years ago, said, my first project, my first building was no money down. Then he backtalks and says, well, I borrowed money from my mother, my brothers, my family, and everything else, and I come with $370,000. I said, which is it? You said no money down, then you did this. I mean, let's do the Macarena, okay? Let's make up the mind what you're saying, because what you just did is double talk. So can you do it? Let's see today. If you had an apartment complex, a fourplex, because in California, anything about 5 units is commercial. If we went and found this, you know, let's say it's a perfect situation, seller finance or something, and there's positive cash flow, could I go get a type of loan like a DSR loan? Yes. There's ways to do that too. But I'm going to tell you something. Coming out of coma, I wanted to buy a house with no money down. I was in 12 escrows. 12 escrows, and every one of them backfired on me. Okay, every one of them. Because I didn't want to put anything down because I'm trying to build it back up. How do you build your family, take care of family and kids while you're trying to build your business over here? Is there enough money? The answer is no. So it's like, for me, Pathlight made sense because I got the house my wife wanted. I knew in 12 months they converted to a mortgage. So they won, I won, she won. Got it? So could you do it? To answer your question, yes, but it's going to be very difficult. Okay, and it's almost impossible. See, getting a good loan, you have to have like 680 and above. 640, yeah, you can get it, but you know what kind of loan you got. It's kind of crap. So again, what happens? Okay, foundation. Or someone's asking a question. I say foundation builds credit, builds finance. And what happens with most people, they run out of money because they steal it from their families. Okay, they took their personal credit, the corporate credit, whatever, they're trying to build something, and they're basically thinning themselves out. Okay, it's like they don't have enough money to do it anyway. If you're going to build a business and you're going to do a half blankety blank job, that's what's going to happen. One of the posts on basically social media the other day on Facebook says use your paycheck, your income to start your business so you find your financial freedom. Okay, well that makes sense a little bit, using your money, that's okay, but your paycheck, what about the family? We got to eat. So if we did this correctly, let's understand. In the beginning, if we, the people, all right, use the laws and everything that's public record, not here to be safe an attorney, could we create corporate credit? If you did that before you screwed up, it would be great. Unfortunately, now I got to rebuild the world because they all screwed it up. So if we rebuild it correctly, so in other words, you're going to have to be a CFO. You have no choice. Corporation, you are a CFO. You are the chief financial officer, okay? When they do something through the corporation or divisions, you still have to guarantee something. In the beginning, you're the duck and sheep. The reason corporations were created in the first place, if you go through history, is because they didn't want to pay tax when they receive money. It's like we get a paycheck. The paycheck is taxed. You find out your first paycheck. What happens is, where's the money? Everybody looked at the first paycheck and go, what, the blank? And then you went to maybe HR or personnel, whatever. He goes, where's my money? Well, the IRS gets their cut. You get the leftover. That's how it works. See, that's why they want payroll. So they get paid first, you get paid last. Understand, we're measured by our SS5, SSN, tax ID if you have one, and then basically your credit score. And that's how it is. When we are born now, the SS5 is filled out by mama since 71. When we die, the time of death actually reverses the bond. See, we got to realize there's a clock there. If you go out on the clock, a world clock. There's a world clock that talks about everything every second, millisecond of the day. How many are born, how many are dying, okay? And the difference is we have more deaths than we have births, so we're going to run out of money. See, we print money on a false pretense. We basically said based on the people, we bound them for 35 minutes apiece. So people are the collateral for the United States of America. We're the collateral. We belong to them. How's that? Doesn't that kind of suck? So again, foundation can build credit and the finance, but understand what that really means is that corporation can finance itself, write off the interest rate and the credit card, and basically what? Get to the American dream. Your bottom line is you're trying to invest something and get a return on your money. I spent 1,000, I want 10 back. I spent 10, I want 100,000 back. Kind of thing to look at. Now, how much money should you need? Here's the way I break it down for me. I look at the average family of 5 need about $70,000 a year minimum just to barely get by. Okay? So if we have a family of 5, 2, 3, whatever you got, kids and husband and wife, what does it cost to live where you live today? Don't think about tomorrow. Think about today. What does it cost to basically pay our bills today? If we can get the bills paid, we can free up our time mentally. Everything that's mental. We got to believe it, see it, and go get it. And that's how it works. Because you have to understand, everybody seems to be against us sometimes. But if we believe, we can go receive. That's how it works. So again, what do you need today to pay your bills? If we have that taken care of, that gives us our time to think. The reality is you're in the rat race and you're just basically fighting through the pain usually every day. And it's like, what are we going to do now? How do we do this? How do we do that? Like I said, I was in 12 escrows. Everyone fell out. It was all screwed up. It didn't work, okay? And I'm a pretty smart guy. Okay, I got to the point, okay, how do I do this? How do I have enough payment down? And I don't have got bad credit or good credit. I got my other files, no problem, my divisions. But how do I get a down payment and I feed my family? See what my problem is? All right, there's not enough money. How do I do all of that? So if you had bad credit, how are you going to do all that too? See, there's the problem. It takes money, credit, and time. So, all right, how much do you need? All right, from there, what happens? When you get money and you're a jerk, you're just a jerk with money. If you're a nice person with money, you're a nicer person with money. That's how it works. Your character speaks for itself. Okay, and that's what happens. You are who you are no matter what happens in life. All right, jerks are jerks and nice people are nice people. And unfortunately, bad things happen to good people because that's his life. Bad things happen to everybody. It's how you accept it. At the end of the day, you want a bunch of this. Okay? But again, this is not even money anymore. It hasn't been money for years. It's a Federal Reserve note. It's a legal tender. So again, as we look through this and what we're trying to accomplish, I'm going to say in the beginning, don't take pictures or recording because you're wasting your time. Let's take pictures of things that matter the most. Okay? That's what makes sense to me. Here are the 10 ways I'd like you to think about. I'd like you to, basically, if you're one of my coaching people, I'm going to give you a broker's list. These are the 10 websites I want you to research and find out about grants, properties, what's being sold today, all these pieces. So that way you can do some homework on your own. About 25% of my clients do not want to join my partnership program at all. Okay, about 25%. They have their own business. But then all of a sudden the husband or wife says, well, what are you doing over here? Then I throw an opportunity to them, then I start doing that. I convince about 99% to own a piece of something. If everybody today owned that, whatever, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, storage unit, they saw since they were 5, I bet you they have enough income today. Okay? So how do we do it now? So again, based on our age, we're getting older, slower. We're not as pretty as used to be. I mean, Nick's not as pretty as he used to be. He was prettier. He's got gray hair now. He's got a baby. He's got a wife. He's getting gray hair by the day. Okay? All right? If he gets to sleep, good luck. Okay? But he's only got 1. Try having 6. Ooh, especially 5 daughters and a boy. Ooh, that's fun too. All right, is that challenging? It's like chaos all the time. Storage units is my favorite. I look at a storage unit as dummy proof. Okay, you can be a dummy and own it. Simple. It's run by a third party. So it's always been my favorite. EV charging stations is like Tesla, or they'll actually let you be a distributor for their Tesla storage unit, charging stations. You could actually be a distributor out of San Diego for Tesla, and you can have them install, and they give you some routes and stuff. But if you develop yourself, in other words, let's say I have profit and nonprofit, and I start looking at what's going on in the city where I live. A lot of times people look outside their city, another area, another state, okay? I don't like that when you have a family, okay? I got this client, okay? His name is Brian. Every time he did something for the family, I'm doing it for the family. Brian, you bought a house that's 2 hours away. You're gonna go fix it up. When do you see your wife and your kids? So you're gonna buy next door to you. You're gonna be around where 5 miles or something. He kept saying for the family. By the time he was doing for the family, he didn't have a family. See, you understand, you got to be smart, not stupid. So EV charging stations make sense, yes.
But is the government still giving grants? I think they have like a $2 billion grant available for like EV charging stations.
Actually, what the government did is they took the grants and they broke it into by states. And the states have the grant money, okay? So you could tap into a grant for EV charging stations. Yes, you can still do that, but they're going to probably reference you to your state. Okay.
Is it through a nonprofit or through a profit?
I look at both because I'm looking at it's like you're developing. It's like if you look at the restaurants in your city, for instance, let's say we're in Anaheim, Riverside, whatever it is. Look at the development that's there, what's happening right now. Okay? You could be able to go to the restaurant, so I can kind of put 6 units there. Every building you see for shared office space, they're in the parking lot. Okay? So why don't you own those? Okay, where can we position these that they're not already taken so far?
So one of the ideas I have, because I have an EV now, if I go to a lot of places, I got to pay for everything to charge the car.
Right.
If I have a nonprofit and I get a grant and I put charging stations free as a service to the public for free, can I do that? You
could, because you can make money on the solar and everything else. Because that's the go. There's always a way to make the money there. Mm-hmm. Me, if I did a nonprofit, I would say you get a discount. I'd call it senior discount.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'd have this sign for handicap and everything else, senior discount, because I'm still making some money. Okay. All right. What I found out years ago, giving it away for free doesn't work.
Okay.
They don't respect it. Okay. The problem is it doesn't always work. You remember, like when those books things are done, you had the old books from years and years ago. Prior to that, and I was 26. I tried to do everything for free. I had a big event. I broadcast, advertised everything and said everything's free in the workshop. Okay? No one really wanted to play. They didn't take it serious. All right? So again, if they're going to take it serious, you got to put some skin in the game.
Okay.
And the reason I collect dollars when we sell something is because it pays all these employees and everything else. I haven't taken a paycheck for 40 years. Why would I want one of those silly things? But again, it takes care of the bills. If not, you're going to go broke anyway. So again, I would say still nonprofit. Maybe it's a discount, senior discount. Because people are used to that. But again, EV charging stations are great. Okay? Laundromats are good, but the laundromat also, if you're going to run it, you have other services. All right? In other words, I wouldn't run a laundromat. I wrote one of the first books about 40 years ago about laundromats because it was simple. Okay? Because they're everywhere. In the bad areas, they make more money. Okay? But then you have cameras, security, and all this other stuff, and you got insurance. Everything in a laundromat is actually third party. The maintenance company, the machines, the vending machines, the change machine, everything's third party. But I got in trouble 40 years ago as well in that too. I came up in my machines to give change. I said tokens, okay? I didn't want to give you change. And I got everybody complaining. I got a letter from the district attorney, I got an attorney, everybody's giving me crap. I created the machine and I had it manufactured to take tokens. If you give me $5, I'm not giving you change. No way. Why would I give you change? Okay, they say you're manipulating your customer to have to come back. Yeah, that's right. That's marketing. Isn't it marketing? I don't want to give you damn change. You got to come back or go again and again and again. So you get the tokens, you use them, that's fine. If not, too bad. But again, that was back then too. You got to fight through the pain. Car wash. Car wash is simple. It's a do-it-yourself. Okay, it's a maintenance company. That's all it is. I mean, what could go wrong in a car wash? Once a week, they do the maintenance, they do the soaps, do whatever else, and all these other things, you're making money. Okay, your goal isn't to get rich. Okay, see, the problem with the illusion is, let's get rich. No, a car wash. Okay, it's making $22,000 profit a month after all the bills. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, now the corporation absorbs the money, not you. You don't get paid. Everyone's talking about you get the car wash, you got to do this, stop. If you get a paycheck, you're stupid, okay, if it's too big. If you get a paycheck that basically offsets your taxes and the corporation absorbs everything and offsets the taxes, you kind of win, right? It's balancing. All right, these people aren't rich. Their corporations are rich. But again, then what are they trying to do? So car wash is good, all right, to do it yourselves. I like it. Dry cleaners. You know, it's like anything else, all right? I have a client years ago in Huntington Beach, in one of the houses, one of the neighbors, okay? This neighbor, he worked for Boeing. Boeing's in Seal Beach and all this other stuff. He got laid off. He was a top engineer. The engineer, he's making $100,000 plus a month and a year. He's like a $3 million engineer. He's making all kinds of money. He got laid off. What is he going to do? Okay? He goes, Ray, what would you do? I said, well, I don't know. What do you want to do? Okay? So we're sitting there in his living room, and he's going, what do I do next? I said, okay, what do you want to do? I need to pay my bills. I mean, I'm the top guy over here in Boeing. I just got laid off or fired. What's the difference? Okay, unemployment, whatever. Okay, no problem. I said, you bought your wife a brand new van out there. And she's in the kitchen hearing me. She's in the room. I said, I want to take that van and I want to turn it into delivery and pickup. She came out and said, what are you doing in my van? I said, it's okay, we'll give it back to you. All right? And I said, well, I'd like to have it painted on the side. No. Okay, so everywhere I'm getting the family's kicking my butt. The man's going, how do I feed my family? So she's not on the same page. He's scared to death. He just lost his job. He's the money maker for the family, and he just scared the crap out of him. What does he do to replace the income? Because every second of that day, he's terrified. Okay, people don't realize how a man really feels mentally anyway. So it's like, unless you're a man, you understand that feeling. I said, I'll tell you what, okay, we're going to get magnets. Okay? Magnets. All right? Can we borrow your van once a week? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I said, thank you, Queen. Okay? Because she's the queen. She's the queen. Come on. So what do? I said, we're going to get magnets. What you're going to do in Seal Beach over here, all right, they actually distribute our bags. You can have printed. And the next thing is that actually dry cleaners, a lot of times they don't dry clean clothes. It's a pick-up and delivery. In other words, there's a factory that does it for you. Okay? So I won't give you the name, but it became one of the largest pickup and deliveries of dry cleaning in Huntington Beach, by the way. So I said, I want you to buy 50 bags. What name do you want to come up with? So he made up a name. Okay, here's your corp, here's your division. Now I want you to take all your neighbors around here, and I want you to put a bag on their door with a note, we're going to pick up on Tuesdays. That's all I want you to do. We'll pick up on Tuesdays. Okay, that's all I got to do? I said, guess what's going to happen on Tuesday? All right, now 60% of the bags were full of laundry. Dry cleaning. They don't care what it cost. Okay? He goes, now what do? You see the factory over here? There's 3 of them. Which one do you want to pick? You're going to deliver the laundry. They're going to dry clean the clothes. And then you're going to bring it back on the following Tuesday. There's your pick and delivery. Okay? So the first week we made $12,000. Is that okay? Is that okay? Yeah. So we set up an accounts. The next thing is we want to bill them or get a check or something. It reminded me when I was a paper boy for the registered newspaper. I got in trouble for that too. I'm always getting in trouble. You're not supposed to ride your dirt bike to deliver newspapers. So I rode my street bike. You got in trouble for that. You're supposed to drive a bicycle. Well, you didn't say that. I'm driving my motorcycle. Come on. It's only on because of what? I'm 12 years old. I've been driving cars since I was 12 anyway. What the hell? So you got to get in trouble. That's half the fun. So from there, I said to his wife, I said, ask your wife if we can borrow the van one more day. Can we have it Monday through Tuesday? Okay, can we have it more days? Okay, between the kids and everything else, we can have it 2 days. We got that. We're negotiating, because you have to negotiate with a woman, right? That's how life is. There's a negotiation. That's how it works. All right, so about the 3rd week, we're doing about $25,000 a week. Okay, a week. Pick and delivery, everywhere. I said, now you're going to do something else. You're going to donate 10% to the school. Why would I do that? Because you have a nonprofit corporation you're putting together too. Okay? Now the next thing is we're going to buy vans, and they're going to be custom painted. All right? For your pick and delivery for dry cleaning. Okay? All right? Tell your beautiful wife, thank you, we don't need her van anymore. And go, he did, she kissed him. Okay. We can have fun with your wife, right? So here's doing like $100,000 a month in dry cleaning. Now, Boeing called back and asked, would you like your job back? What did he tell Boeing?
No.
He went, no way in blankety blank. Okay? His business in the first 2 years was doing about $4 million to $6 million. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So again, dry cleaning is a business. You see them everywhere. Half the time they're storefronts. They don't actually do the work. It goes to a factory. So any ding-dong can set up dry cleaning. Okay? It's I got another client, and it was at Thanksgiving time, almost Christmas, and he lost his job. I said, what do you do? I said, I want you to go up your Belinda Hill over there because you live over here, okay? I want you to put flyers in everybody's car. You install Christmas lights, okay? That's what I told him to do, okay? He was so busy installing Christmas lights, he forgot what he was doing next. After that was done, what do you do next? Okay, what are you going to do? If you keep adding service to people you give good service to, you can keep doing services. And that was the goal. There's always a way to make money. If you're lazy, you're lazy. If you want to make money, you can pay your bills. What was it as a kid? Front yard $1, $2 for the back. Simple. All right, rode my bicycle, my lawnmower, I borrowed from the neighbor. I borrowed the lawnmower from the neighbor. I didn't have one, so what do? It's like the fourplex. The reason we look at a fourplex, okay, is you have 4 units. A house is going to get you, let's say, $600 a month if you're lucky, okay? All right, that's why people say not single-family house. But again, if you did Section 8 or a nonprofit, okay, that makes sense. But if I'm getting $600 a month, no. If I have 4 units and they each got $600 a month, okay, now do I have $2,400?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm talking about after the bills are paid. So what do? Okay, we got $2,400. You got a fourplex, or anything above 5's commercial in California. So what do? Go get another one, another, okay? Client, I teach him how to do this. He goes, okay, Ray, the bank won't give me another loan. Okay, so what did you do? I went to the bank, okay? I have my LLC. I said, that's fantastic. All right, and they won't give you another loan. I said, did you set up your divisions? Oh, I haven't done that yet. I love people that listen halfway. Okay, so the bank said no. I said, okay, you have this LLC, fantastic. All right, if one of those people in those units sue you, you're out of business. If you transfer this to a division and you take your next division, it doesn't have any debt. It doesn't have any what? See, the division doesn't have debt. You told the bank you already have debt in a fourplex. Okay, you already told them you have debt and your other property you're trying to do B and B. If you have debt, they're going to say loan to value problem. That's what I had in the 80s and 90s. Loan to value problem is always in my way. So again, go back to the bank as a division. Okay, so this corporation has no debt, would like to, all right, go get credit. You're the CFO, and they see this for each one of these independently. So if you can multiply 4 fourplexes, all right, do you now have $10,000 a month? Okay, the next thing is I want you to talk to your local real estate office wherever they're sitting. Why? Because they want to manage it for you. Okay, he comes back. Well, they want $400 a month to manage it. Hand them the money. It's $100 a week. That's all they wanted. $100 a week. Give them the money. Take it out of this. Hey, come on. So do you want to tie up your time managing something, which you have no time for friends, family, or whatever, and what you're trying to get to the next project, or do you want to let the next project kind of fund itself? So if you just get past that mental thing, we can multiply it, okay? The apartment complex, okay? I scared myself. I got this apartment complex. Everybody's happy. We closed escrow, and I'm in a mood. It's like, damn, what's wrong? All right, my wife and people who knew me go, what's wrong? I go, I don't know yet. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. It was 117 units, okay? I got one loan, because they give you one loan for the apartment complex. This is basically Security Pacific Bank. Everybody remember that bank? Mm-hmm. One loan, okay, no problem. So about 2 minutes after midnight, I said, damn, I know what's wrong. Every one of those people can slip, fall, and sue me and screw me up. It scared the crap out of me. I opened Pandora's box so they could actually sue me and steal everything I got. That's like, are you crazy? Division process again. How do we take a lease and make sure they can't hurt us? I ask the question in front of thousands of people all the time, would you lease a piece of property to your friends and family? And the answer is what? No way in blankety blank. Okay, they always say no. So what do? So if we play this game, okay, we have an apartment complex. So my thing was, okay, we're going to have a meeting with all these people. Every unit's 117 units. what I learned, I taught myself about that was the 117 units, okay, each one of them would like to own their unit. That made sense. Each one wants to be an owner. Is it better to be a renter or an owner? Okay, I say owner. Because usually the payment for the house or whatever it is, or it's the same price, if you do it right, as the loan would be anyway. We get to write off the loans, okay? But then you have my old client out there, you don't want to buy a house, and he owns 2 houses with 54 million bucks. So which is it? You don't want to buy a house, or you got 2 houses? Would you make up your mind? You're a double talker, okay? I don't like double talk. So we sit down and we have a meeting, the new apartment complex, the new management company's coming in. And we're letting them know that you're going to sign a brand new lease, okay? So here's a brand new lease you're going to sign. Now, the lease, understand something, if the division, and I have 117 divisions now, okay? Plus I have the first division I bought the property in, one loan. So I figured, okay, would they like to own their units? They're going to sign a new lease. If the division name is different than each one, in other words, there's a legal identifier on a lease. Again, I'm here to be CPA and attorney, but if every lease has a different name to the top of it, you're leasing from XYZ 101, okay, then you have to sue 101. You're leasing for XYZ 102, all right, you can sue 102 if you slip and fall. So I dissected it based on the name of the complex. Next thing is I'm asking this group of people, how many would like to own their unit? How many hands raised? Every one of them. Okay, so they knew if they have a mortgage, okay, they can write off on their taxes. They're getting paychecks now and they have no write-off, okay? We lost all our write-offs years ago. So now that paycheck can offset because of the house payment. So the form that I created back then was assignment of mortgage. I took one mortgage and I dissected it 117 times. All right, one mortgage, and I do an assignment of mortgage. Now I learned something. My wife made me go to this timeshare thing, and I didn't want to go. See, the mall is made for women anyway. I don't go to the mall. I go to the mall, I get hives. I don't want to go to the mall. All the stuff for the men are next to the escalator in the corner over there. All right, why would a man go to the mall? Okay, so I don't go to the mall. She comes back, I want a car. No, you didn't. You want a free trip to timeshare. Okay, that's what it is, timeshare. Okay, well, can you go? Can you go? If I don't say yes, you know what she's going to do? Keep bugging me till I say yes. Okay? So you might as well say yes, gentlemen, the first time she asks you to do something. Yes, dear, I'd love to go to that boring timeshare meeting so we want a free weed whacker. I got gardeners. I'm not going to use the weed whacker. I gave that up when I was a kid, okay? I don't need a weed whacker. But I listen. I'm a good listener. All right? Simple. The bell rings. To me, I'm going, another sucker got a timeshare. I don't like timeshare. Okay, no problem. Then I'm hearing something. I'm looking through the brochure. Every week you have a timeshare, you're allowed to have a deed of trust. What did they say? Deed of what? So it's a write-off. It's like a second property. Okay. So if I have 1 to 3 weeks or whatever in a timeshare, I'm actually getting a certificate. It's a deed. It's a deed. It's owner. I own it. And then they're tricking you, well, if you don't use this one, you can always go to Hawaii and this. They sell you this one and they go to somewhere else. Which was that easy. Maybe they have a magic wand. All right, so deed of trust. So if I take one loan and I do the assignment of mortgage, I can dissect that mortgage in 117 times. So 117 times. Okay, that's what I did. So assignment of mortgage. I can give them a deed of trust. They own it. Okay. Now, you got to realize what happens. Here, the average rent was $1,875 back then. Okay. So let's call that the first trust deed. No problem. Then I said, how many people can afford the down payment? Because you have to put down payment down. Okay. And how much down payment? I said $25,000. Okay. So what do we do? Based on the units. So if I take the value of 117 units and dissect it, can I become the bank? So we have a second trust deed now. So we have a second trust deed, okay? Whatever they couldn't pay, there's another payment. So now what did I just do to the cash flow? I just increased the cash flow because they all are willing to pay a first and a second. So now I have an average of $2,400 a month, okay? Did I just make the cash flow go up? Yeah. It went up by literally almost $600. Okay? Times 117. What's that again? What can we do? Leverage that. What can we do with the bank? The bank wants to give me more money. I like that. So if I dissect, now here's the thing. Let's say we have 117, since we did, and there's an apartment. This is apartments right here. Okay, we have a first and a second, all right? If you own something in California, there's a homestead, okay? Homestead is valued at $170,000. No problem. The second trust deed was basically valued at $25,000, okay, as their down payment. The value of the property. I got first and second. And then I also do a UCC1, okay, as a collateral agreement. It's called a chattel mortgage. That's worth $65,000. Okay? So here we got $100,000, we got 270. By the time I was done, I had $300,000 of notes from every unit. What's 300,000 times 117 now? Okay, figure it out. It's a lot of money, right? So now I can leverage into more money. Okay? So I took this apartment complex that we paid this for and made it worth this. We dissected it. Okay, no problem. So at the end of the day, leverage it. Now understand, homestead blocker. And I'm going to show you the homestead. You can protect and you can actually own the equity of someone else's homestead. So they can't get another loan unless they pay you back. UCC1 on chattel mortgage, they don't pay you back, you get all the furniture. Either way you win. Okay? So it's like when I was dealing with Russ Dalby and he had that toolbox of notes, and that was his info commercial. I showed him some other things, a different way to do it. Because it made more sense my way. I didn't like his way. So if we look at the apartment complex, we can do all kinds of stuff. Let's become the bank. Hotels to apartments, I like that because it has a kitchen, it has a restaurant, it has a store. So that means I can have delivery service as well. Okay? That's another thing under profit, nonprofit. Fast food, Wendy's are great. I don't care what anybody says. Okay? All right, Jack in the Box are good. Okay? I don't want a McDonald's. I got clients from McDonald's, and there used to be $2 million in, $2 million in reserve. You have to have $4 million to get a McDonald's. That's too expensive. Especially when you can basically do it leisure. That's fine. Fast food. Okay, it's like I told my daughter I'm going to take her, like I said before, when my wife and son went away this last weekend camping, I told her I was going to take her to a restaurant that makes the food in front of you. She was all excited. I took her to Subway. She loves Subway. They're right there. Dad, you have to, we're going to Benihana's. We wouldn't have one around those, okay? Subway's right here. Gas stations. Gas stations with stores make sense. But they're expensive. If you notice, they're the last on the list. Okay? This is actually in order. Okay? This is how I like the products and the services for auto income. If you're an investor, here's a gas station. They want $1.5 million. I have two of my neighbors get gas stations. All right, one sold a house and has extra money. What do we do with the extra money? Well, why don't you buy this and get this return because then it's managed by a management company. Well, there's a good investment. The other one says, I got the money, but I'm giving it to my investment counselor. Okay, so you're giving money to somebody who's investing for you so you get a return. Yeah, he's been giving me about 10% a year. Is that good? Does that suck? But you're not getting daily or weekly income, right? Well, how do I do that? So again, I said, you have $5 million you gave him, and he gave you 10% back. That $5 million would have been $25 million. And you could have bought all kinds of stuff. See, you're playing slow and steady and boring. Okay, you might as well basically go after look at Susie Orman or some silly thing like that, because that's just silly stuff. So again, gas station with store is our goal. We have a choice. Now, for everybody online, okay, or here, all right, I want you to be able to have a phone number to the office. At all given time, you want to reach to the office, no problem. So 800-254-9506. You know, it's Sunday. No one's back in the call center. Okay, there's Chris's text. You can text him as well, and Monday he'll get back with you. But I'm always say always good, because that's our goal. Because we have to have that mindset. What did the Kennedys do that most people don't do? Well, the Kennedys' families worked for their organization. So again, if someone died, nothing changed hands. Kennedys, basically, they worked for the company. So again, if, let's say dad goes to a better place, okay, the kid or the junior or whatever takes over the place, he just changed positions of his job. He got the big office in the corner. Nothing got changed hands, no taxation. So it's not just the trust, it's how you set things up. Because nowadays, you got to get this book, you got to put it in your trust, excuse me. The question is it irrevocable trust? Okay, that would be the goal. Hiltons. The Hiltons, to this day, we hear about Hiltons, don't we? Okay, we hear about his famous daughter all the time. Did she actually get money? Did she inherit anything? Or did she have stock to a corporation, and she became an officer? Firestones, Gettys. The Getty Museum was built, and these attorneys were stealing the money. They were stealing the money. All right, they were supposed to build that Getty Museum 20 years before they did. They were getting ready to get in trouble because they're getting their attorney fees and doing nothing. I think they're kind of stealing the money. What do you think? Eventually, we got the Getty Museum with a bus to go up to the museum. Okay, Ford. Who's Henry Ford? Do you have kids? The Dodge brothers who worked for Ford. So Ford did the same thing. See, if you have the corporation and the things you're working on, it's like anything else that you're doing, like the Rockefellers. That's the same thing they did. And the goal is keep everything together. Why tear it apart? All right, Rockefeller said if you tear it apart, it falls apart. Make sense? If you tear it apart, it falls apart. That's what Rockefeller said. If you keep it together, all right, what happens? Everybody gets to work for the company. Okay, work for the what? So then we don't change and have to be retaxed. Being retaxed is called stupid, in my opinion. Today, your goal should be is to download a UCC 1. It's United Commercial Code 1. It's entitlement of ownership, and what we do is understand something. If you walk to your house today, you'd want to take pictures of everything in the house, okay? Because those are assets. Who wants to get those assets, I'm sorry to say, when we're dead, okay? Where is this going to go? How do we plan? We have to plan to live and die. The next thing is we need to get a copy or download a copy of the irrevocable trust, okay? The irrevocable trust would make more sense. So again, what do? I know it's like the black cassette back there, okay, in that old book of mine and everything else that I did. I gave my wife a black cassette years ago. I said, if I ever die, okay, these 5 people have to be in the room. You don't sign your name to anything. Okay, you read the cassette and everything else, and there's a letter and everything else. No problem. There's a video. Hardest thing you ever create, but I wanted to make sure she understood what to be done. Now, all of a sudden, this person comes to the hospital. I'm in a coma. Hey, Ray told me to show up here if everything happens, and all you have to sign is this POA. What's a POA? Power of attorney. Okay? So instead of her thinking, okay, and understand what's happening, all right, she's being tricked. Is that good or bad? Bad. That kind of sucks, okay? You have to always be on guard, always on guard. So what happens is, like today, she knows where to find the letter, where to find the videotape, and so do my kids. I have a meeting, I have 2 kids that live with us still. One's 18, one's 12. All right, my son was here yesterday. You saw him, okay? So understand, my conversation with him once a month, we have a board meeting at the house, a board meeting. This is family meeting time. This is board meeting time. Okay, I make him get a tab and a pen, and I make him write down what happens. Okay, I'm in the hospital in a coma. Okay, all right, coming out of coma, my wife says I sold one of the vans. I found out we still have possession of the van. Okay, but I can't basically, all right, release the pink slip. I got to get the pink slip to the guy. He says there's a lien on the van. I went to go register it. Okay, a lien on the van. Okay, so here's a lien on the van. Okay, and I said, honey, okay, all right, I said, what's in your hand right there? She's got all the paperwork, okay? She goes, I got the pink slip in my hand. Okay, so if you have the pink slip in your hand and you need to release the pink slip, why don't you just sign the damn thing? But it says we have a lien called Ford, not Ford Motor, Ford Finance, okay? So I actually have divisions that actually mirror image other companies. So I had Ford Finance, I had no Ford Motors, I had no name of Ford Finance. I said, honey, that's one of your divisions. Okay? You have the right to sign it. You have the pink slip in your possession, 9 cents of lost possession. Now I'm doing a law class while the nurse is listening. Okay? I will tell you, I will lien my own stuff so you can't sue me and screw me and take it away. Is it okay? If we lien our own stuff by a third party, I can pledge equities and assets anywhere I go. That's what we're allowed to do. There's even forms online you can find pledging assets or whatever. So she had the pink slip, she got the money for the van, and all she had to do is realize one thing, you have to just sign it. So on the education at that meeting we have once a month, this is where you find this, where you find this is what happens in the map, okay? This is a map that your son becomes president of the company, okay? And nothing never gets sold. Now, we watch these movies nowadays, Bruce Wayne. You ever see the Bruce Wayne movies? The Batmans? Now there's a new series so that he's a kid, inheriting everything. Well, that's what my son's gonna do, okay? Why would you do anything else? So if we protect our assets, okay, and we know where they go, okay, can we control the asset? It's like, do innovation assignment of mortgage, a UCC1, okay? All right, from there, deed of trust, chattel mortgage, all these pieces. For me, if you have equity, I don't think it's smart. I say this to myself, and I won't say it out loud, because equity is an attack to lose your equity. It's called stupid. If we put a house in an irrevocable trust, protected, it's not your house, but you get to write it off on your taxes. So now it's not your house, I sue you, they get to go buy. You get to offset the taxes. Did you homestead it before you did that? Okay? The next thing is overprotection. I have this attorney guy, he's a specialist on irrevocable trust and blah, blah, blah. Why would you make them do a homestead? It's $12. Why would you not? Why not overprotect it? Okay? Again, I'm going to overdo everything. So where do things go when you're dead? Irrevocable trust. As we're tying our knowledge into profit and non-profit, if you don't protect you, you're still the duck and sheep. And what happens is something falls down, what happens? Humpty Dumpty again, you're the duck and sheep. You got to build it up again. We got to get to the point where we understand irrevocable trust. The goal is to give you as much knowledge for you, but then hold your hand doing it. Some of you have known me for 30 plus years. Okay, some have known me for 40 years. I have not changed. My knowledge has gotten bigger and broader because I study all the time. But the difference, I'm still Ray Reynolds. I'm not full of you-know-what. I'm still trying to help you understand. If I do the work and say, hey, Glenn, here's your nonprofit. Have a nice day. Well, that's what the attorney does. He charges $5,000 to $15,000 and gets you an exemption. What do you do now? 90% of businesses fail because they have no foundation and they don't understand what they're doing. They have no idea what's next. No, what's next? What's next? They have no idea. So again, they screw it up because no one's there to hold their hand. What I don't understand is why the world doesn't follow me more. All right, but again, when you're down, it's like I remember one famous client. Hey, the great Ray Reynolds got knocked down. All right, I wonder how long you're gonna stay there. Isn't that nice? Rich and famous guy. I helped him get to that first million to billion. And he's so busy enjoying that I'm down. That's not nice, is it? There's a lot of turds out there, yes.
I filed my homestead based on what you told me to do. I submitted it, I got it notarized twice, and somehow they kicked it back from the county recorder saying the notary's not right, which makes no sense. What should I do now?
The notary's not right?
Like the way it's notarized, it's somehow not the way they want it. I don't know what they mean by that.
Find out if the city or the county has their own notary.
Okay.
Hire them. Okay, circumvent the problem.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's silly, I did it 2 times.
I mean, a notary is a notary, it's simple.
I know, they did it the correct way.
Well, like I always said for years, is go to the bank and ask their notary because it's no one you know. You don't want a notary you know. Okay, because that notary that you know, they can say basically you did it and they manipulated the situation. They backdated something. Okay, you don't hire your relative who's a notary.
It's like a UPS I went to.
Yeah.
Where they have a notary.
Well, you can take the notary down there in person if they're willing to go, or find out if they have their own notary.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. California is one of the...
I mean, it's...
Yeah, but again, it's just, you find turds everywhere you go,
Okay.
unfortunately.
On the gas stations, are you only doing branded or unbranded, or you don't care?
I want branded.
You do?
Oh, I want branded. I want an Arco. My favorite is 7-Eleven.
Okay.
I want a 7-Eleven gas station with store. All right, because everybody gets 11 cents off the gallons if you become a member. And then you basically multiply that to all their family and friends, and you multiply that into more. All right, because unfortunately, the 7-Eleven gas station, who owns it, they're not working it enough because they're just investors. Okay, I'm going to squeeze everything while they actually have a management company, because I can save 11%, business or personal, off every gallon of gas. In California, we are charged 7 taxes per gallon of gas. Does that add up? Yeah. So if we could actually promote that differently, I bet you I can get everybody to go to 7-Eleven gas station. What do you think? Okay. I want to take the service from Arco. Okay. But again, I want a brand. All right, because people always, I'm looking for the Arco station. I'm looking for the 7-Eleven. I'm a member. Okay, I'm not buying some ding-dong station. No, 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 I don't need that. See, it's like the guy's going to get a sushi restaurant. It's made $2 million a year, Ray. Fantastic. You're putting $500,000 down. Okay, they're doing a carryback, seller finance. Okay, no problem. And I think it's going to fall apart in 8 months. I'm telling you my truth and what my feeling is. But okay, maybe you're going to do great. Okay, I've just watched it happen too many times. It's not a brand. It's not a brand. It's not whatever. It's not a McDonald's. I mean, I got a client who owns basically a Black Angus. Why would I do that? I can make more money on a damn Wendy's than a Black Angus. Look at all that headache you have. Okay, and the management companies. I don't want to deal with that. I want boring and steady. Okay, that's just me, boring and steady. It's like Robert here. Robert and his wife own a house in Yorba Linda, California. The house is now worth $9 million. Okay, Robert works with Toll Brothers. You ever heard of Toll Brothers? So he builds houses, sections for them, no problem. Every time he does this, he has to put a bond on his house. And what is he doing to the wife? She wants to kill him. Okay? Ray, I bought my wife her dream house. Now she turned it into a home. I said, then leave it alone. Knock it off. You're putting a bond on her house. Hey, it's my house. No, it's not. You're a guest. Don't ever think that house is yours. You are a guest in your own house, period. Accept it. It's belonging to irrevocable trust. Because you're going to be married forever or she'll kill you. She already told you that. Honey, if you ever divorce me, I'm going to kill you instead. That's what she told him. Okay? You're married for life. You like it or not. If you want to get a divorce, I kill you. Okay? So guess what? This is her house till you're dead. She killed you or you died of old age. There you go. So Robert's problem is, it's like what your problem is. You told Chase you're going to put $100,000 in a bank account. You've got them puckering. Because that's what they're doing. He's in a meeting. It hasn't came in yet. Okay. Well, you're, hey, how you doing, Lynn? How you doing, Lynn? Let me shake your hand. Yeah, I can't wait to get the money. There's what you go. Okay. Robert's problem is he does $300,000 a month. A month. Okay. B of A won't give him a loan. Okay. B of A will not give him 50 to 150 because the money's coming in too fast and too quick. He's burning the money as fast as that sucker's coming in. Okay. You told me give him a check. They're going to go, as we get those scores back up, because we've got to be careful. The moment they run your credit currently, about personal and business credit, they're going to say, I don't know about Lynn. Let's not talk to them. You're getting the attention right now. They don't know about peekaboo. We're not going to give them peekaboo. Okay? We're going to make sure they go, every day. That's the goal. So Robert's problem is he's got a Bank of America account. He's had it for years. That sounds good. Years. So it's like anything else. He has his Bank of America account. He's doing $300,000 in and out of the bank account so fast. Or they said, you do not have any money to sit still. They said, what? You don't have any money to sit still. Bank of America wants you to have a personal credit card for $10,000 and $10,000 business card for your corporation. They want to give you credit card first, and then they will give you a line of credit. Okay? So the line of credit is going to be because you have to do things. I have Robert working on it right now, and that's how it works. So all of a sudden, okay, what did we do? Okay, so here's Robert's corporation, B of A, no problem. We got B of A over here, okay, and he's trading $300,000 a month, and there's no money left because it's going in and out. It's coming out as fast as it's coming in. It's just being sucked out. So what do? So here's Robert's corporation, no problem. I got him to do divisions earlier, a long time ago. He's in construction. I said, why aren't you buying the wood you need from the mill? I'm buying for the distributor. Excuse me, why aren't you the distributor? You're buying enough wood to be a distributor. When I built my one castle in Nellygill 100 years ago, I bought from Louisiana Pacific. You can buy from the mill, okay? So let's do that as one of the distributors. Let's do from the mill. Everything you do, we're going to have these. This is wholesale. Carpet, line, paint. Freezy Paint is a manufacturer of paint, okay? Let's do all these pieces, no problem. So he's doing this, and we get open accounts. So I was trying to help him get some money to stick. Now, here's my corporation over here, okay? All right, and I got a corporation. I have all the history, all the pieces, all the line card. I got all the pieces everybody's missing. So I said, Robert, we're going to take your corporation, and I'm going to name one of my divisions your corporation, okay? Now, I love B of A for this reason. Bank of America is going to give you a sub-account, okay, in any division you want. This is client subs account he's supposed to pick up today. He didn't make it today, so we'll ship it out to Monday. So again, one account in all these sub-accounts, you one tax ID. If I take his corporation and I have a division sub-account, that means here, this name of his construction, no, this is XYZ, all right, management, and this is a construction division, okay? If I took it under my corporation and I can use my history, I'm showing an account that basically trades $500,000 a month and the average balance is $160,000. Would that be okay with B of A? Okay? They want to see what? They want to see $5,000 to $10,000 a month as an average balance, and they want to see money that sits. So I get the line of credit here, and the line of credit basically is $150,000. Okay, no problem. Now I can disconnect it, and I can say, Robert, here it is, back to you. See what happens? What do I do? I take my division and his, and I move it back to his, and now he has another division. The division, now that I had, I just basically disconnect, add it to his corp. The loan follows it because it's under its own tax ID. Okay? And I use him as CFO anyway to have fun. So now he's got the 150. Okay? And then all of a sudden we're sitting there with Susie and him again, and he's literally saying, okay, I'm going to use that and do this and that. And Susie goes, listen to Ray first. Okay? This is a woman that knows how to take charge. Is that the best way to say it? Okay, no problem. I said, what we're going to do with that 150, we're going to reference 3, okay? And we're going to do times 5, okay? I made it $1.5 million. Before you spend the 150, because did he solve his problem? No. His problem is he's going to spend the 150 on something else because the bouncy ball is moving, bouncing, 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 okay? If we don't get a line of credit, we can't grow the business. So that new line of credit is 1.5 million because we got to reference 3 times 5. Again, every division allows you separate lines of credit, separate tax IDs. Every division, that's exactly what we did when we split deed units. So again, now you got 1.5. What you have is borrowed money. Borrowed what? Money that offsets taxes. So you can grow your business on debt, okay? And he's going, I don't want debt. Excuse me, your problem is you need debt. How much tax you're paying. The debt offsets the taxes, you can finance the business, and you now have $1.5 million. So again, Robert's problem is Robert's talking to his CPAs and attorneys, and they don't see things I do. Okay, yes.
How many, like you just said, 1.5 million was created out of that division when you took it over and gave it back?
Right.
How many times can you do that if you help him? Let's say 10 times or?
You can do it many times, but you have to be careful with the bank.
Okay.
Okay, a bank might say you're trying to kite and float money.
Okay.
So I have too many bank accounts. So what I'm doing is leveraging. Banks leverage from the federal government times 10 if I back to you. They're okay to do it. We're not. Okay, well, we can do it. The difference is I do it right in front of them. I'm not trying to play games. If you did it at one bank and went to this bank for a line of credit, that's a game. I'm using the same bank. I'm leveraging the same thing. Okay, Lynn told Chase he's going to deposit $100,000. What are they willing to do? They're going to give him a Freedom card for $10,000 or $20,000, a Sapphire for $10,000 or $20,000, no interest, 22 months, and they're going to give him 2 ink cards. They don't show up on personal file. Then they're going to give him a line of credit for $50 to $150. Okay? Well, we got to position ourselves right. The moment Lynn puts that money, they're on the phone. When do you come in, Lynn? What time, what day? I'm available on Tuesday. So we got to make sure we're lined up correctly. Okay? If I want a Sapphire or a Freedom card, I want my score to be 680, 690, 710. Okay, no problem. If I want ink, I want 735s. My ink cards are usually $50,000 to $75,000. Do I want a little one or a big one? Okay? So if I get a big one, I have that ability, and there's no interest for up to 22 months. Why not? They have 6 of those. So if we play the game, we can win. Borrow money is not taxable. So could we create money and leverage it to $1 million? He's a builder. Of course you can. Okay? And he's using hard money loans. Oh my goodness. Hard money loans at the wrong price and everything else. Again, we got to repackage that. So our goal is very simple. The assignment of money. Today, someone here is going to get a paycheck. But if you're an independent contractor, you're really not. It's actually a paycheck because independent contractor doesn't exist. Before you would incorporate you to receive that check, so you're not you're an independent contractor, 1099, I would see if you can do assignment of money. Can you take that check that you get paid to you and actually add it to your bank account? I have a division of me at Bank of America. Someone writes me a check, I can't deposit the check in a personal account because I don't have one. But it goes into the tax ID. Then if they wrote the check from a company, I send them a resolution saying the check was actually deposited under this company and tax ID. Do not give me the 1099 personally. Okay, give it to the corporation. Okay, I want their accounting to be correct, and that's the goal, because I can do assignment of money. So one of the things I did for a big event in Nevada years ago, all these brokers and agents and attorneys and all this crazy stuff, they're getting taxed to death because they're not set up right, and that's the biggest problem. Purchase a vehicle. My wife had to sign her name 28 times. The last time she picked up the Cadillac Escalade for the company, okay, brand new and ordered, is bought as a what? What was it bought as?
Was it division?
It was a division. What did she tell them it was? Corporation, because the division is a corporation. Mm-hmm. So she had to sign her name, and they wanted a resolution. They asked for a resolution of power to purchase. Resolution that says the board blah 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 votes and elect that she has power to sign on the behalf of the corporation as a CFO. Signed her name 28 times. Okay? All right, as CFO. The car is registered to what? The division of a corporation. Not the corp division. Why? Because if there's a problem, I get rid of the division, I keep the corp and my family alone. So I separate my liability. It makes sense. If I want a resolution for boats, one of my clients, his name is David German. David was a grandmaster in 5 martial arts and all kinds of stuff in movies and you name it. David was a great guy, God rest his soul. I now see all these things about Ed Parker and all these other things over the year on Facebook for some reason. Ed Parker's been dead 30 years. He died at the airport in Honolulu years ago. So again, it's good they honor him, but it's like, why are we getting all these pop-ups? Okay. Now, David was weird. David had a nonprofit, okay? If you went to Redondo Beach or you went to Dana Point, you saw a pirate ship. That's what David's pirate ship, okay? He got a pirate ship that was actually literally a pirate ship. They redid the whole pirate ship under the nonprofit. He got grant money because he said this is for the youth of tomorrow. And that's what he did as a division, Youth of Tomorrow. What did he do? He said, I'm going to take 50 kids that are from bad neighborhoods and we're going to go out for 30 days. He made them work the pirate ship. He got about 10 other martial artists and how to fight. The kids, these are ghetto, whatever you want to call it, like well, I was born in the ghetto and all this crap. So here's these bad people, okay? He put them on the sailboat, okay, the pirate ship, no problem. One of them gave him a bad time, so he threw him overboard. This is just David. David's just, he didn't take crap, okay? Fast as can be. So David threw him overboard, threw him an anchor, or raft or some crap. I wasn't there, he's just telling the story. So here you got your life jacket, okay? Hang on to that. I want in. No, you're gonna stay there for a while. What if the shark comes and gets me? Well, he's not hungry anymore. This is what David kept saying to these people. He's scaring the crap out of them. Is that good? When they all came back 30 days later, it was like they were very disciplined. The rule was you cannot go back to where you lived. You cannot go back to where you lived. They repositioned them in another area through school. Okay, 30 kids coming back, and basically you can talk to mom and dad on the phone, but you're not going to live there anymore. We relocated them, and that's what he did. That was nonprofit. Okay, everybody loved to go on David's pirate ship. There was a line, there was a list to go on the pirate ship to get your butt beat and thrown overboard, fed to the sharks. Because it got them back in their head. See, unfortunately, we're not trained to do things the right way in a lot of ways. Kids are lost, unfortunately. But you can find a way to solution. Every race boat and yacht can be sponsored, okay? So again, it's like the yachts and the race boats. Okay, this one here said Reynolds University because I wanted it to be a marketing tool. It has 3 engines in it. We would do what's called a poker run. So we'd run over to Catalina at 100 miles an hour on a boat. You ever been on a boat going 30 miles an hour? Wait till you go 100. Better hold on. We took the VP of Bank of America with us. I gave him boots. He wore the boots. No, he wouldn't wear the boots. All right, he wore flip-flops. Sign this release, sir. You signed it anyway. He did wear the helmet. We fly at 100 miles an hour, hit the wave, pop. His toe shoves under the dash and breaks his toe, and there's a bloody mess. I look at him and I go, I told you. So now, is he going to sue me? What's my first thought? Are you okay? Let's clean up the mess. Next thought, I just lost a poker run. I usually win these suckers. You made me lose it. I'm saying to him, but can he sue us? Every yacht, race boat entity is registered to what? Division. The other thing is loan to value. Loan to value, okay? The bank like, well, you can't get this because you already have one. Excuse me? I already have, so I want 10 of them. Oh, you can't do that. Divisions, I could do it, okay? Again, I let him look at it separately, and that was the goal. Every yacht and all the pieces. Address. By the time you're done, you're probably going to have 3 addresses. You have your home, your credit report's aimed there, okay, you have a utility bill. Some creditors want a utility bill with your name on it to match the address you're applying for. Okay, that's simple. So we build to home because that's where it is. All right, credit reports and everything else, you can actually get through the process, get the application. Then I'm going to say build, move, build, move. Then you're going to go automatic payment. Auto pay, all right, should be done in paperless. And then you got that national mailing list. But during the month, you should make an extra payment. The way we kind of designed it with Yarborough, me and Harold Stokes and all kinds of stuff years ago, it's called a fast pay or quick pay. If you want your score to go up faster, you make an extra payment every month. Okay, I don't care if it's 20 bucks or whatever, and it just makes the extra payment. And that's the goal. So you become a fast pay and a quick pay. Because sometimes you get these what I call silly, stupid letters. You only pay in the minimum. Okay? You haven't made enough payments. All right? Oh, we don't like you. I mean, you have 6 reasons of excuses. Let's take care of the excuses. Okay? Fast pay and quick pay. Automatic payment, paperless, and an extra payment every once in a while. Why not? So that way it's a fast pay, quick pay. You're going to have your house address to build credit. Even the corporate credit should go to your house, by the way. Because then you're going to move it to wherever you want it to be. Problem we have with people doing corporations, especially other states. I got Wyoming, I got Nevada. Stop. People would give the building in Nevada. I used to own the damn big building in Nevada. Well, here's the address. Is this really your building? Yeah. I go, that's funny. I own the damn thing. I've never seen you there before. Okay? But I own it as a division. Okay? So again, shared office space doesn't really work a lot of times. And that little box you can't fit in, you keep saying it's your address. It's not true. It's a lie. See, the system knows what you're doing is good or bad or lying. So you're going to have a mailing address. Mailing address is a dummy address. Okay? You don't want it coming home. Then you're going to have maybe a real business. Lynn had to give a real address to open that bank account. When you lie, I got a client. He's got Wyoming. He gave the registered agent's address. The banker says, this is a registered agent. Yes, my address. No, it's not. It doesn't belong to you. You're paying for a service. You're not physically there. You can't use this address. And then he's going, why did I get into Wyoming? I go, I don't know. What are you going to do with it? Okay. So we have crap coming to an address. What can I say? The officer's list should always be a P.O. box. All right, whatever address you have, not home. Never home, never home. States sell us on a mailing list, okay? Tax ID, you're only allowed 1 per day. And on the weekend, they won't give you one, all right? I got to the point that I got a letter saying you're getting too many tax IDs for your customers. Okay, I'm doing 100 to 500 a day, okay, and corporations for everybody, no problem. So they got it to 5 a day. Then they went to 1 a day, okay, per person, okay? Well, there's a way around that too if you need to, but you don't really need to. The bank wants a real address. That's usually home or a real business. The DBAs, we can file them anywhere. Why do I want a division? Why do I want 10 or 20 or 30? I want them filed so they're aging. Okay, every project you do in 2026, every one of you, you will take a division that's filed, it proves its birth date, and you're going to change it based on the application of business. Okay, you get a Wendy's, you get a storage unit. What are you going to do? You're going to rename one of those, and this is Wendy's 127. Okay, that's what it's going to say because this is the store number. Every store has a number, so does a restaurant. So does the bank. So what do? So every division you have, plan on changing the name. I got one lady, she's just so focused on the names. I don't care what they are. Do you understand? You don't have anything yet. If I build a foundation, you can change them and modify it as you put them in place. Okay. So again, catalog marketing research. What do we get to do? Fine-tuning your division. Divisions are important to me because I don't want to have the pain coming to the corporation. All I know is if the corporation does business, all right, they sue you and the corporation, so you're both sued. How do we fix that? A division is a line of defense, the way I created, in 85, 86. I never wanted to have the pain come to the corporation. So people don't understand divisions to this day. It's hard to get the bank to pay attention. When you go there, we have to teach the banker what a division is. Sometimes they'll call it a trade name or this or that. All I know is I have a corporation, and on one hand they say that you have to have an average balance for a line of credit. The other hand, how do I do that if they make me have a bank account for every division I have? I want to share the same bank. So division process. Now remember something on the division. Okay, this is profit or nonprofit. Here we have a profit corporation, profit. Here we have a nonprofit, okay? All right, what if you have a project, in this project, because you have a number 2 here, okay, and you have a number 4. You have a 4, all right, A, all right, and you have a 4B, okay? So if we wanted to share a piece, this here could be 4, this could be 4A. We can actually have a project that can be owned by 2 things at the same time. Make sense? Because you're going to want to save the city. Okay? Is that a Section 8? Is that a land? Is that a building? Is it an apartment complex? Is this? Is it that? Or you do manufacturing. Manufacturing means you're going to do profit and nonprofit. You're looking for government money to help sponsor you. Let's for government contracts. All right? You have a list of government contracts they're looking for people to take and bid on the contract. If you bid on the contract, you're a nonprofit, you're ahead of the list. Is that okay? You want to create manufacturing to that city because it creates jobs. If we have jobs and money, what happens to the city now? It goes back. We build it up. The other thing is you're looking, when you have that conversation with the mayor in a couple of weeks, you're going to ask about the tax rate. What tax credits can a nonprofit get that a nonprofit can't get? Tax credits are important to us. Okay, your government, state and federal, they give subsidies. As you talk to Linda, and some of you, I always want Linda to network with people, she gets voucher money, okay? And that's what you're looking for based on vouchers and money, things like this, what you're doing for profit, nonprofit. So keep in mind, you might have profit corp, nonprofit doing a project together, okay? If this puts more money in it, it can use it as a donation. You have what? You got the golden ticket. You have an IRS, all right, federal exemption that says if I donate money to you, I can write it off of my taxes. Your next thing is going after every manufacturer out there. Government manufacturers, schools, hospitals, all the pieces. Let's go find a doctor who wants to move there. Let's set up a clinic and a hospital. Because if you have a clinic and hospital, nonprofit, guess what you do? You now have the people coming to you, okay? All you need is a nurse, licensed RN, that's it. Or a doctor, that's it. Next thing is you're gonna get a pastor. You want a pastor who's got a family always, kids and everything else. You get the doctor in these 2 positions here, the people are going to come. Okay? Now we find the manufacturing. What do we have next? We now make money. The city's going to make money. What's the tax revenue? What's the tax break for our nonprofit or profit? Okay? What can I get from the city to sponsor me? Those are the things you have to dissect. If all of a sudden all we have is profit here, okay, here's Profit Corp, here's our divisions. If we do business as a corporation, what does Ray Reynolds say that is? Let's say it again. If we do business as a corporation, all right, some of you have known me for 30, 40 years, okay? What would Ray Reynolds say if you do business as a corporation? That's stupid, okay? You're a duck and a sheep. It has not changed. It has not changed, okay? So if we have a corporation as management, profit or nonprofit, who's the duck and sheep? Even in the original, one of some of those books, you see, Rob, that's from 40 years ago. He's been around a long time. Original books. So understand, if we're going to listen to anybody on social media or attorney or CPAs, should we run the LLC, C Corp or S Corp, whatever, nonprofit, or should we run divisions? Divisions. What can I do with the division? I got to look at bankruptcy. I'm sorry. What happens to everybody who can't pay a bill? The first thing in their mind is, do I file bankruptcy? And then they talk to their bankruptcy attorney, he or she. They talk about the opportunity of 13, payback 3 or 5 year, or Chapter 7. If it's too much money, then they talk about Chapter 11. Okay? See, the problem with people, all of you online and here, you're so busy asking people their opinions, you didn't do your research to find out the answer for yourself. You need to understand these things. How many times have you paid an attorney and you found out you just basically paid for and you wasted your time, and by the end of the day you have to negotiate and solve the problem anyway? All right, almost every time. It's like, well, why did I pay you for? So, all right, oh yeah, to drain that what? A retainer? Division process. I want you to think, it's like I heard Brandy say yesterday to two of you. Mr. Reynolds or someone else, I can overhear it. The day we moved in, he says we're going to move. Okay? That's the first time I told him. All right, we got our furniture, everything. We're all set up. Fantastic. Love it. I'm going to make sure we outgrow every area. Okay? And then we're going to move. We're going to buy a building. All right, why am I going to make this landlord rich? Rich. Why don't we own the damn building? We get offset the taxes. Let's see, pay tax or own the building? Pay tax, have a Lamborghini. What should we do? Now, if we have nonprofit, listen carefully, Lynn, and all of you, nonprofit, I can go to the city and say, I'd like to waive the property tax. Okay? I can appeal and say, since we're nonprofit and the benefit of this for public, then I can say, can you waive my property tax? Churches don't pay property tax. That church in Los Angeles, their payment is $420 a month. And then they're asking the other pastor, are you going to put the money? No, we're going to ask for the people in the church. Why don't you just write a check out of the petty cash account for $420 and knock it off? Again, they made it a big ordeal. No, thank you. There's enough ordeals in this world, okay? Now, I filed the division today. What's my first thing? I file it, I publish it, I have it. Now what do? I go to the bank. I go to the bank. Once you start dealing with your banker and you start to know them, I'll bet you now you're getting to know the banker, correct? Before then you weren't knowing that person, okay? The more you show up and see them, the more the attention you're going to get. You're wanting that attention. You want them to throw money at you, okay? So you're going to want to know that banker's name, everything else, and all the pieces, because what's going to happen, the next time you have a division, you walk in, they go, what do you need, Glenn? What do you need, Lynn? Whatever you need. What do you need? You want that whatever you need, okay? The first time you went for a division and sat down, they're like, who are you? I bet you they gave you the cold shoulder, didn't they? The moment you start talking about money, so they're sizing you up. They're salivating. Let them, okay? This division is the greatest gift you could do for yourself, okay? A division of you, because you're going to have to guarantee something. Jack went to the dealer. He wanted to buy the car, but he didn't do the division right. He did it with the CFO. Okay? Now, I get on Brandy's case all the time. Do not help that person on the phone to do coaching to buy that car. Okay? Do not do that. All right? I think I've told her that at least a dozen times. Okay? Well, Mr. Reynolds, they need it. I said, guess what? I said, what do you do here? I said, no, tell me what you do. Or I'm one of the managers. I said, it's good. Okay. You get bonus money, don't you? Okay? You get a paycheck, right? All right, fantastic. All right, so based on you giving free consultation, you didn't get a fee, so guess what? You just gave it for free. All right? In other words, she says, well, we're helping me. I said, no, I help them through coaching. Do I do coaching for free, or do I charge a fee? Fee. There's that damn, these bills are ridiculous. We spend $52,000 a week to maintain this damn office. $52,000 a week. Brandy, you can charge $200 the next time. If not, I'll charge the $200. We don't work for free because I do, but you don't. Make sense? Okay. She helped Kim, who's online right now. He wanted that Kia electric. All right. Lined it up, the division, everything. Did what I would tell you to do. He's driving around his brand new Kia electric. Wow. All right. Because of the tax and everything, so he gets to start off the car. So think, division. A division is a duck and a sheep. I don't care if it's profit or nonprofit. What matters to me, you have a division. Okay, this is an umbrella. This is a legal person. This is on the bank accounts. What do we do? An average balance builds credit lines. What do we want? We want Chase Freedom. We want Chase Inks. Corporate credit doesn't show up on personal file. All right, these do. So the difference is the balance. You were to balance at 29 to 25%. This has not changed. This has not changed. That's how it was designed. Your oldest card is your history, and this is what you have to balance. And on the cards that fluctuate, and all of them fluctuate but two. The two don't fluctuate are gold and platinums only. I get a client. Ray, I got a blue card, American Express. How am I doing? Okay, now I go back to the client. I said, let me ask you a question. What's the 524 rule? Well, that's the Chase rule. Okay, you went to the bank, you got a card. They pull a Experian. What does Chase pull? Experian. Okay, if you eat up 5 new accounts, the Chase is going to tell you to go to yourself. All right, so everyone you on a line in here, write down 524. Understand that rule. This is in blood. This is everything, okay? Inquiries are key to everything we do because we want that ink card. No interest up to 22 months and you just blew it? I don't understand, stupid. The freedom's okay. We have to realize something. He might have to wait 2 years, all right, to get rid of that inquiry, to get a Chase line of credit now. Who wants to wait 2 years? All right, so understand. Now listen carefully if you know what you're doing. If you have, let's say a car, for instance, and you get an inquiry. You were told to get one only. The way I'm going to tell you is to do it, no problem. That inquiry can be a duplication of the contract. In other words, you can challenge it with credit bureaus. I got the car, that's a duplication. You're not going to say it's not my inquiry because that's a lie. Because they'll actually call the loan due or something else. So you're lying. You're like you're doing fraud. So, okay. All right, hello. All right. This is my one client. We have fun. I argue with her all the time too. Isn't it fun? All right, this is Mrs. Walker. Mrs. Walker had a problem. She gave Tony Robbins $50,000, Ty $50,000. She spent $150,000 on all these experts. I call it the Walker story. She sucked out everything she had, house, car, money, to go get, I'm going to get the secret. All right, a year and a half ago, I had to rebuild her. She's almost filing bankruptcy. Okay, sucks. She believed they were going to give them the secret. Shh, don't tell anybody. There's no secret. Just tell how they need to do things. It's like someone in this room says, why would you want to teach divisions to anybody? Why don't you just keep it to yourself? God didn't give it to me for me. He gave it for you. I'm just the vehicle, right? Right. Who said that? We know who said it right back there. Okay, Rob. So, a division nonprofit of an original corporation. Okay. Now, do I take a division from a profit corp to a nonprofit? I can move them around. I can move these around. Okay. I have a house today, and it's under the profit corporation. I don't donate the house. I donate the division. Okay. Why would I do that? The history goes with it. Okay. So now they have the divisions. It's donating the house anyway. What do I get over here to the corporation? I get a tax write-off, okay? See, positioning is everything as we play this game. It's a game to win. I want 3 divisions of you, okay? Now, a division of me, I have choices. A division of me can do one thing, okay? So this is a division of me, okay? No problem. I can build credit, build a score. I can guarantee a building. Again, these are different. A division of me needs to be filed separately. Listen to the word separately. A lot of times divisions are filed on the same form. That's fine. Okay, the form. So a division of me, no. I want it filed separate. Okay? Now, once in a while they say, well, that division of me, that's your name on it. They'll make you put C after your name or CO. Okay? It don't matter to me. Whatever they want, we're following the bouncing ball. I have divisions of me that guarantee leases and buildings. I have divisions of me that guarantee credit as well, okay? Because they have scoring, okay? If you build score to a division of you, you can use that to replace you. 5 years from now, you can fire yourself and let that guarantee everything. Because it's illegal what? Because that's the goal. We have no intent to do fraud. We do have the intent to protect our assets. The DBA of a DBA. The reason this was created is because years and years ago, now remember the fictitious business name has been modified 5 times. 5 times. Okay, then it was another 5 times. I have this great client. He's a good guy and his brother in the business. And I don't understand stupid. That's maybe I shouldn't say it as much as I do. I got him to $5 million a year. Is that good? IRS says $5 million below a small company. Got $5 million bucks. Okay? Now, at the end of the year, they're going to get a bonus. No, you're not getting a bonus. Why the hell would you want to get a bonus to be taxed? You're going to write it, well, my accounting person and CPA and attorney said we should pay ourselves a bonus because we're an LLC. Well, that's called stupid, 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 okay? Now, what are you going to do with your bonus? I'm going to go buy a Ferrari. Okay, then buy a Ferrari through the corporation. Okay, you're driving a company what? Okay, it's like someone in this room, I want a Lamborghini. No, Rob's not going to get a Lamborghini. The corporation might get one, but you're not going to get one. Okay, they're going to give them a bonus. Their tax said, no. What's the money for? What are you going to use it for? Can we drive a company car? Okay, on all the social media, well, guess what? You're going to use this write-off. Stop. The write-off. I want you to think one thing. Ray Reynolds doesn't give a crap about the write-off. This is the Lamborghini keys. It's not the write-off. What scares me is the registered owner. All these bloodsuckers out there, the billboards, all this stuff. No. Lynn is going to contact Hertz Rent-A-Car. He's going to contact basically, all right, Hertz and Enterprise. He's going to contact Canada. He's going to get a van donated. Then he's going to, what do you do with that? I think you're going to do delivery from the church and the hospital. What do you think? I think we're going to get these people that served our country, vets, we're going to get them some grant money. And they're going to donate their time. Okay? Believe me, if I'm going to save a city, I'm going to save that city. Okay? I'm going to make sure I have some fun. Because we're going to make Lynn an honorary mayor in the future. That's what he should be. Everybody needs to know Lynn in that city. Everybody needs to know Lynn. We're going to rile up all the money. All the people got money and all the pieces. This is a division of a corporation. Because if there's a bumpity bump, what's going to happen? Disconnect, isolate, incorporate. What's the two things that don't show up on your credit? What are the two things that do not show up on your credit? Say house and car. There's the problem. People don't realize this. Your house payment doesn't show up on your credit report, period. Okay, it does. Go look at it. It doesn't show up. Your car doesn't show up either. They only show up when you screw them up. It's the only time they show up, when you screw them up. So when I came up with self-reporting, that was for house and car, because they have a balance to them, correct? Now you have Asperian doing this stupid thing about utility bill. And every time I see a utility bill is 100%, you got to remove it because it's in the way. You're holding your score down. You're holding it down. A DBA of a DBA. Why is a DBA of a DBA? Because I need subdivisions, okay? I bought the apartment complex in Fullerton, California, Security Pacific Banks alone. There's one division. I guarantee it is a division of me, no problem. What did I do? I woke up at 2 minutes after 12 going, oh crap. I know what's been bothering me all day. One of those tenants could slip, fall, and sue me and screw me up. I got an LLC. Good for you. If they sue the LLC and you, guess what happens? You just lose your goodies. Are we getting older, slower, not as pretty as we used to be? It's just a fact. So if we focus on division, purchase, subdivisions, and all the pieces, every lease is a subdivision. Has to be. How many subdivisions do I need, Ray? I don't know. How big's your project? Go to a car dealership. New cars, used cars. New parts, used parts. They already broke it into pieces. You understand that? They say this on purpose because that's how they broke down their dealership. Liabilities all over the place. Understand, they don't own the cars, the bank does. They're getting what's called their what? All right, interest payments. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get you. And if you don't set the tone about inquiries, they're going to go to town because they get bonus money. And they use a phony credit report. Brandy's going to say it's not phony, okay? They use it's a report that is for all car dealerships. Otherwise, it makes your credit score like a crap. Always.
How many subdivisions per division can you put?
As many as you want to.
No limit to how many subdivisions?
Well, the way I first got it approved is we took a division here, okay? And I wanted to show the example, it's probably in the original books back there, is 3, then 2, then 1 more, okay? What I was creating for me back then was $16 million of credit. 16 million, okay? So I wanted each division. 16 is what I needed because I had 117 units. Okay? He's being nosy in your book.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's your book. Oh, sorry.
Hey, he's been around a long time. I can't seem to get rid of him. Okay. So, subdivision. All right, what I got to do is create another line of defense. So here's the corporation. Here's the division. Line of defense, line of defense, line of defense. And that was the goal. Do you need to go more subdivisions? No, it's based on the project. Okay? Linda she was short 42 divisions. Okay, she had to get more divisions. And the goal is simple. Every unit should be a division because every unit has a person in it, correct? Then if we separate the liability, there's a problem. The next thing is if we do this correctly, we can turn that to become the bank. Every unit can be dissected off that loan. And that's the goal, okay? So every unit, it's like here. We're going to take a certificate of ownership, okay? This is the same certificate they use for LLCs and LLPs, okay? So we can order certificates of ownership. So if we have a project, okay, what percentage would I give you, you, and you, okay? How much did you put in? You put 50,000, you put 100,000 or whatever. We have this money. So here's 100,000 coming in a month. Based on your investment, how much money you get out of that 100,000 is based on what you put in, right? The brothers had a problem, okay? All right, I didn't want them to buy the Ferrari under themselves. So they bought it under the corporation, 300,000. The other brother said, I don't want a Ferrari, I got a family. He bought a Cadillac, okay? These two ding-dongs argued about the money for a year and a half and destroyed a $5 million business. Destroyed it, okay? All right, I said, just give them another credit of 200,000 to do something. It's not my fault he bought the Cadillac. Stupid people. They destroyed a $5 million company that would have been a $50 million company. And these are blood brothers from the same mama, okay? They're not just friends in blood, you know, whatever. Brian, when I was a kid in Torrance and Long Beach, he was a black guy. I'm a white dude. Everybody said he's my brother from another mother. Because it's like, you know, why is he here? He always got that look. Brian was one of my other friends, between Roy and everything else. He was a Mexican guy. I was over these police's house all the time. I didn't know where to go. Now, I learned something about black women, okay? They're tough. If they cook, you better eat. They're going to whack you in the head. Okay, they do. This is not nice. Roy's mom would get a chancla. You know what a chancla is? She want to beat you with a shoe. Oh, yeah, these people are crazy. So when you go to someone's house, you have to be respectful. You eat if you're not hungry anyway. Okay, that's okay. And you don't go in the kitchen. I offered to help. I went into the kitchen and started doing the potatoes. Oh, I got in trouble for going in that woman's kitchen. Don't you go in my kitchen? You don't belong in this kitchen. All right, I'm cooking these tortillas my way. Okay, what happens? I got in trouble then too. So what do? This is a certificate of ownership. If we have a division and a partner, because some of you are going to want to have partners, do not have the same corp, please. Never have the same corporation with your partner, ever. All right, unless it's a partner of life. 2 corps owning a piece. 2 corps owning a piece. Certificate of ownership. You want a deed of trust. You want something that shows you own the piece. We go back to basics. Corporation's a legal person. That's what it is. We're going to stop right here. We're going to take a 10-minute, it's a 15-minute break. Okay? So, all right, bathroom time, donut time, coffee time. We'll be right back.
Ray, when you look at C-stores or gas stations, do you look at buying 5 and 10 store increments?
If I'm looking at a gas station with a it says not required to. So, can you file a DBA of you sole proprietor? That's what they tell you to do. That sole proprietor was created for you to file it as using another name. Which, if you use your last name, you don't need that anyway, and you use your tax ID. Again, I don't like using sole proprietor because what it does is make you use your home address. Do I want to use home for anything? Never. Maybe bank, it's private, no problem, then I'm gonna move everything. So our goal is simple. What we have to do is play the game to win. The credit report, yes, sir.
I have a question. I know we've been focusing on the big banks. In the case of Lamar, there's one little tiny local community bank that's been family owned, and the president was a teammate of mine, played football growing up.
Great.
I'm sure the town of Lamar has a bank account there. Is there any place in our world for that little bank to help with my nonprofit there?
Yes and no.
Okay,
Okay? Yes, they can help if they want to.
okay,
Okay? The difference, you know the people because you were raised in the schools, and that's
Yeah.
great. Okay? Let them help. Okay? Eventually, you're gonna wanna get a bigger bank there. Okay?
Okay.
You're gonna want to recruit, believe it or not, all right, Chase Bank, all right,
okay,
Wells Fargo, a US Bank, all right, or a B of A.
okay,
But they're not there because there's no volume,
right.
okay? And the
No
difference is,
business.
well, the business is not there yet, but again, they're shutting down a lot of banks.
Yeah,
We now can Zelle now, okay?
Yeah.
It's simple. It's like I used to send Scott to the bank 10 times a day. People would come in with checks or money all the time, and I won't touch money, and we had to go to the bank to deposit the money,
wow,
okay? Now we do is what, Zelle now, it's
Yeah.
easy. Okay, that tool helps us. So banks don't need those locations anymore. You have 9 Bank of America shut down in less than 5 miles here. 9 of them. You don't need them,
wow.
okay? It's an empty building, it looks like, what happened, yes.
What's the advantage of using a virtual address, like I have this address here, what is that benefiting me and where should I be sending here?
Okay? I have this address for you because A, I want to build credit to it. I have a
Okay.
division of you to circumvent the crap in the past,
Okay,
okay? Do you have crap in the past?
yeah,
Okay, we had American Express or problems in the past.
yes,
What do you have in your wallet now?
American Express,
LES, okay? You gave me an ability to have an address. Is this a real building?
yes,
Can they Google this?
yes,
Okay? It's not a UPS store, it's not a mailbox, etc. It's a real store. It's just a real building, right?
Right,
So this can be verified as for banking and credit purposes.
okay,
I like to take a division of you, if I'm building credit to, I want to use this address. Why? You've never used the address, have you?
That's
No.
correct.
You've never used the address and it's clean address. I can build a new file. I can circumvent, your crap in the past, as long as you honor your crap. Okay, you gotta honor the crap. Okay, and again, we can't just get a new one and everything else. This is where that company called CPN got sued by me because they're copying my books years ago. And people would say, I'm gonna get at least CPN. That is a consumer private number. That was actually for witness protection, not for people to just get new files.
I know you mentioned like I should have 3 divisions, and me only have 1, how urgent it is to get the other 2 as quickly as possible?
The age of a division is crucial to me,
Okay,
okay? I want a division of me to guarantee a lease. I want a division of me to build credit, okay?
okay,
Today, you're gonna go sign a lease on a building. Who signs it? You or the division of you?
The division.
The application allows SSN, SS4. What you put there is up to you. That application for the car, application of the car says corporation, and what do you put? Division. What's a division? Corporation. See, you're gonna have to learn to talk and walk. Okay, it's like when I look at Lewis. Lewis is great. Lewis years ago, he's like so naive, and it's like, nowadays this guy's on top of it, he knows how to talk. Okay, your division's a corporation. Division is used internal or for bank, and then you shut up. You go to anything else, this is a corporation because it is. This corporation is allowed to do business as these names, and that's what it is. So we sign it as that corp. My wife signed her name 28 times for that last Cadillac Escalade. All right, division, because who's the duck? Is it important to protect our families?
Yes.
If you're a registrar of your car, the back of my mind, I don't want to say it out loud, I think it's being stupid. I wouldn't say that aloud, being stupid, right? See, we have to protect our families. There's too much crap in this world. Okay? Again, I want the duck to be the division, okay? These divisions, I can throw them away. Now my Vanna White didn't show up. Man, there's again. Someday I'm gonna get a new Vanna White. Okay?
Nicholas, he's talking about you.
Rob, Vanna's from Myrtle Beach, I don't know if you knew that.
Well, I used to turn around and my board was always clean before I went back to the board again.
He called you
That was
Vanna
my
White.
years ago. I don't think he knows what Vanna White is.
Before my time.
What was that show called? I
It's
forget.
on, hey, Mel Griffin's had that show, he invented that show. He invented 2 shows that are still on Channel 7 to this day. And one of those shows, Wheel of what?
Wheel of Fortune, yeah.
There you go, what's the other one?
Uh,
Jeopardy, right?
Oh, yeah, Jeopardy, yeah.
There you
oh,
go.
yeah, he created that one too, huh? Wow.
Yes, okay. See, the TV used to see MTM. What is MTM?
Mary Tyler Moore.
There you go.
Sheesh.
Okay, that's how it was.
If you're old, you know that.
Well, these are the things that works, because understanding how it works and everything else. I'm thinking about rich people, famous, they got money, how they get the damn money? So you gotta understand these things, Mary Tyler Moore. Now, all right, Chalk Hospital. All right, I love doing love rides and things like that, those are fun, driving Harleys from nonprofit, no problem. Who started Chalk Hospital?
Good question.
Who started basically, all right, Joseph St. Hospital? You plunked, you're fired. Fired. You said Marlon Thomas, right?
Mary Tyler Moore.
Moore. What's Marlon Thomas?
St. Jude's.
Oh, who's their father?
Danny Thomas.
There you go, who started the
Mayberry.
hospital? Huh?
Oh, yes, Mayberry.
Huh? Come on. See, they started these foundations a long time ago. So all of a sudden, these foundations grow. They didn't change hands, they grew. It's the same thing I'm talking about, Kennedy's, Gettys, and Firstones, all these pieces, okay? We gotta start building legacy again. The world forgot how.
The Gettys, who was that? That's the Getty family, right? They do the pictures and they got the mansion and all
Oil.
that, right?
They were oil, big oil.
Oil, okay.
Okay, and the Getty, when they left that trust and endowment, those attorneys were just kind of stealing the money. Then they built the Getty Museum. It was 10, 20 years later. Okay, what is this? Credit report to replace yourself. 1987, my theory is, I got my dashboard, I set up a way to set up a credit file instantly. I'm watching all of you, I need a cosigner, I need a secure card, I need this, I need a card, all this crap you're doing, it's like, why? Okay, it's not so difficult, you made it more difficult. 87, I started a dashboard, within 5 minutes I can start a credit file. That's only starting the file using history. Now, history is one thing to start it, what do we need now? Something to report to it. When I pay a bill, what does it do? Give me a score. Again, we have to balance the debt. You can become a great CFO, okay, a great CFO. All right, and my wife and my son are watching, hey honey, I got one of the books from 40 years ago here too. And I'm only 39 and a half years old, that makes no sense. All right, now, you screw up, all of you, sorry. You did a tax ID, I get clients all the time, hey, I got a tax ID, right, I know what I'm doing. Show me the 26 ways how to use it and how to abuse it. What's that? When you trigger, listen to the words, every tax ID has a date of an 11/20 or 10/65 due. You need to pay attention to this, okay? This book, for profit and nonprofit, is your Bible, okay? This book has minutes and bylaws, period. Every tax ID, when you print, in the middle it says where your 11/20s due. Because you didn't do it, the world didn't do it. If you remember when Biden became president and hired 87,000 IRS agents, his first comment was, who didn't file their 11/20, we're gonna come get you. Okay? So the reality is, we're not gonna let them go get you. So, this book is very simple. In the book, we're gonna basically understand where we put our stuff, and we have our divisions and all these pieces. 11/20 is the tax return. Okay, we file a 1040, the company files 11/20. You need to know the due date. Because you don't do it, what happens, you screw it up. And then they wanna audit you. They want to audit you. That's the IRS. They want to audit you. No, 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 no. We do what they told us to do. What's a closet division?
So that you letting age.
Let age. I get a credit card for me, add it to the division. I get a credit card for the corp, add another card. Can we get courtesy cards? Yeah. So why don't you just leave some divisions here with courtesy? If I didn't have that, I couldn't build it as fast as I did coming after coma. Okay? I want divisions sit there doing nothing. Now, whenever you do them, that's up to you. I just want closet divisions, okay? And I always use the number 8 for a reason. My race cars, my race boats, and motorcycles have the number 8 on it. I was born on March 8th. 8 and 0, live and defended and beyond. That's how it works. So again, I want closet divisions. Had Jack ever screwed it before?
Yes, many times.
Okay. Has Rob ever screwed it before?
Couple times.
Okay. Have any of you screwed it before? You? Okay. If you have a body in the closet, could you like take that body out of the closet?
Yeah.
That's a division. A division. Because I can take a brand new division with history, and what can I do? I can start over. I can start over. Nothing stops me. Okay? You have to have your backup for a backup. Remember, profit or non-profit, we have an application that's going to be typed. Jack wants to get those basically freedoms and sapphires, no problem. And then ink cards. We're going to position that right. A mini financial. Today, we decide we're going to pass an agreement around. We take this piece of paper, we pass it around, I analyze everybody here, and I say, Rob, I want that account. All right? Jack, I want this account. Lynn, I want that account. We're going to put this on a mini financial. Can we be part of a board, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay? We can vote and elect to be part of a board. We put it in our resolutions and our minutes, and what do we get to do?
Suspended.
All right, we, the board, vote and elect to the following process. We, the board. He had to have 5 people to get a nonprofit. Okay? Do we put 5 people on there, or we use a division of a name? We can use the name too. Okay? It's a board. It's a what again?
Board.
So we now have a minute book. All right, do you order your minute book yet? Okay? So that's minutes and bylaws. He's going to create a resolution that gives him power to speak on behalf of the nonprofit. He's going to create a certificate. Because right now they don't know it's land. They got an also list, that's it. Okay? He's going to have the power to give money. Okay? He has the power to do that, but it has to be a resolution in the book. What happens? I find clients, well, I got a black stamp, Ray, what good is that? Nothing. This is embosses. If it embosses the paperwork, it's an original document. If you have a black stamp, all right, throw the sucker away, get another one, okay? We want it to emboss. Why? It's a part of the paper. It's original document. We want original document. Because anybody can make a copy, right? Okay. Resolution, bank statement. How important is it a bank statement?
Extremely.
Bank statement builds what? Line of defense and gives lines of credit. Average balance is what? You went to the bank, you did what I told Lynn to do, and what are they doing? That's what they're going to do. The moment he's got a problem, he's got a big problem. The moment Lynn puts money in that account that he's promised to put in there, all right, that's going. They're going to want to look at his credit, personal business. Okay? They're going to want to hand him things. Okay? What is Lynn going to say when I don't have a 720 score yet? What's he going to say? Is he going to get stuck? Is he going to panic? Is he going to sweat and go, oh, what do I do now, Ray? Is that about it? Come on. If we line it up right, so in other words, you're going to put him off until this is done.
Okay.
Okay? You're not going to say, here's my $100,000 I promised you, and then you're going to put yourself in a corner. No, 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 no. Okay? You know me, I don't allow that. I tell people, no way in blankety blank. Okay? We get our numbers back up there first. Then we give them the money, and we get the honey. Okay? You do it before, you're going to be back in the corner. And that guy that's going, not going to do that anymore. And every time you go there, he goes, he says, need more, you don't need more. All right? You don't want that. You want him to love you all the time. Experian, Trend Equifax, business reports, okay? Then Dun & Bradstreet. Dun & Bradstreet supplying and cash credit, okay? Because Pete did, what did you do, Peter? You used the Dun & Bradstreet to help you years ago, the stove went out, what did you do? Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Home Depot. Guess why you got the stove? But what would happen if you didn't know how to do that? See, knowledge is power, but you got to help the people get the knowledge and the power. Because everything else is crap. Every division is known as a bucket of money. Okay? Every division is a bucket of money. That's how I designed it. I want every division, okay, to be a bucket of money. If I have a car wash, I have a laundromat, I have an umbrella, I have a line of defense, this is money. Money. Now, this has assets. This is secure party. This is debtor. Divisions are always debtor. Always debtor, always debtor. Always understand that it's a debtor, it's a debtor, it's a debtor. Get in that brain. Secure party. Who owns the assets? Corporation. Who's the duck? The division. Duck screws up. Who repossesses? Corporation. We don't lose. We never lose. Because that's not why I wrote the book. It's called Winning the Game of Business. Division umbrella, okay? Every credit card you get in the future, you're gonna interview your creditors, okay? I can take my dashboards and increase limits on cards usually all the time, if you allow. But again, I don't like doing it as much unless it's someone in coaching, because I'll say, I'm gonna log into your Spark card today. I'm gonna add it to my dashboard, okay? But after I do this, I want you to basically change your logins, because I don't want them, okay? So what I'm gonna do is basically get into that card, okay? I'm gonna increase your limits. Okay, we increase this limit, it's 5,000, that's 10,000, okay? No problem. Is it better to have 5 or 10?
10.
Okay, why? Because it's easier to balance to 29%.
Yep.
Remember, I said Spark. All right, Capital One Sparks are the only card that shows up on what? Personal file. I keep protesting against Capital One all the time. Stop it, stop it, stop it. It's zeroed my tax ID, but they don't do that. They gotta stop this, it's ridiculous. No business card shows up but theirs, it's ridiculous.
That's true.
Okay, I don't understand it. We're gonna daisy chain the credit, have to. Okay, now, Lynn's gonna get a credit card for the profit corporation. He's gonna ask for an authorized user for the nonprofit. He doesn't know it yet. He's gonna take a profit corporation's card, and he's gonna ask for the nonprofit to have a card off the on the profit.
Hold on, what? Say that again?
Okay, I'm gonna say it more times. My corporation profit credit card, let's say I got him an Inc. card. I want an Inc., all right, sub card or an authorized user card. I'm gonna use it nonprofit as that, okay?
Oh, wow.
I want the nonprofit to have a card off his card. What can we do as people today, which is stupid in my opinion, okay? If you have an authorized user, it's a mistake, because you usually trust somebody, right? Melvin's a great client, okay? I billed him $500,000 of credit, okay? He says, I'm gonna give my credit card to my brother. No. Okay, he goes, Ray? I said, no. That card is $100,000. Would you not do that ever? Okay, he says, I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay. All right, could you at least do something for me? What? I want you to preset the limit to it for $2,500. You understand that? You preset the limit because you're allowed to do this. $2,500. People do not respect money when it's given. They didn't earn it. All right, it took him less than 2 hours to jack it up $2,500. If you gave him 100,000, how fast would it take to do that? Okay, you're looking for this card to do things for you, and you let them jack it up. No, 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 no. So if you're going to give a card to a company or a person, I want you to preset the limit. If we take profit company, get a nonprofit, the card, we're looking for scoring. That's what we're doing. That's all we're doing. Okay. American Express loves to give what's called an expense card. They're white cards. Okay, no problem. It's got my name on it. Reynolds University. Here we go, expense card. This is off another customer's card. Okay, because I want the expense card, and that's what they did. American Express keeps changing rules. First it was a resolution. Now it's we want to be on the bank account. Now it says stop. If I have a courtesy card, we can use my account and their account. I don't care. Okay, how they want to change the bouncing ball, we'll find a way anyway. That's the goal. We have to basically get through the process. When you get one card, interview your creditor. Should you get additional cards for the divisions? Yes. Okay, if they're in place. These are authorized user cards. You're going to want to make payments for 3 to 5 months. 3 to 5 months before you ask for separate billing. I don't need separate billing, because if I ask for separate billing, they're asking for tax ID. What did I tell you yesterday? I have 3 to 5 months before I have to provide an SSN or SS4, right? So if I get a courtesy card and an optional, that means I have 3 to 5 months to provide that. If not, I get this thing. Mrs. Walker, basically, what did she do? Ray, American Express wants to, where's that SSN or SS4? Where's it at? Where's it at? I don't need the card anymore. We got what we wanted. All right? Cancel the card. Simple. Again, there's peekaboo. One card, multiple divisions. All right, CFO. If I want separate billing, I need separate tax ID. Tax ID, like I just said again a second ago, we have to realize we have to file an 1120. If you get a tax ID, whatever it's for, read it, read it, read it. It goes in the stock kit. You're going to put a calendar together that triggers things. In other words, when is that 1120 due? Okay? You have to have a calendar that triggers it for you. You have to. Does your phone have a calendar in it? Yeah. Have a trigger there. File it 5 days before it's due. Okay? Here's John here online. John wanted to do something with his corporation, but John named his corp after himself. Is that good or bad?
Terribly bad.
John's a roofer. People are hiring contractors. Did anybody ever fall off the roof?
Yeah.
Who are they gonna sue?
Your company, him.
They sue him. What's my first thing I tell John to do?
Visionary.
Change the name of your corporation, please, to a management in a roofing division. We got a separate liability, you got a wife, you got kids, come on, stop it. Okay, the attorney, tax attorney, he says, why are you doing that? Because Ray Reynolds said so. Yeah, I've heard about him. Okay, no problem. I said, now I want you to go back to your tax attorney and ask him why he did not pay your franchise tax fee. You're a year late. Now it takes 6 months to fix that problem because the tax attorney was not on top of the problem. In California, we have a franchise tax fee. If we're gonna pay it late, it's gonna take 6 months to fix it. Do not pay it late. Again, what happens every time we do the bank? All right, yeah, nice, lovely people, okay? Rose here online with her beautiful husband. 25 years ago, I helped them get an apartment complex in Los Angeles. They've been around forever too. Okay, but what happens is, they had a Nevada court not qualified. And what happened? Well, here's the choice, go back to Nevada, find out what the fee is to bring it up, $13,000. Should we spend $13,000?
No.
Or should we set up a California court with the same name and clone it?
Clone it.
And at the same bank running simultaneously with each other? Okay, that's all they wanna see is history. If it's at the same bank in history, what do I got? I have corporation and a subsidiary. Corp owning corp. So I'm gonna save $13,000, is that correct? Because that's a lot of money. But again, he wants to sell the apartment complex and now do fourplexes. Because 5 units and above is commercial. But again, that's okay, we can do that too. Division process. Payroll, you're gonna get a paycheck. Sorry, you have to get a paycheck. That's how you make it as clean as possible. Yes, you have these things on social media, you can pull the draw. Yes, you could. Pull the draw, LLC or C Corp into S, you could do that, no problem, or paycheck. Employees should be part of paycheck or, ADP, whatever you wanna pick. Okay, clean, don't deal with that, don't deal with that. Never, never profit or nonprofit, ever do payroll in-house. Okay, you don't do payroll in-house, you hire ADP, paycheck, or your bank, whatever. The reason you do not want a payroll account, because in business you have to juggle struggle, is that correct?
Yeah.
If you use the payroll money to pay the lights or the rent, you steal the IRS's money. If you allocate money for taxes, you can't use it for anything else besides taxes. So we don't have payroll account, we have a general account. General does the payroll, got it?
Yeah.
So then they can't get mad at us going, oh, you did it wrong. No, thank you. We don't set ourselves up for a fall. You need, again, I always say, analyze you.
So you saying with the payroll account, even from where you pay where the money comes in and where you pay the employees, it's the same account?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a general account.
Okay.
Okay, I want to commingle all the funds in one account so no one can say I did anything wrong.
So
Okay?
you don't wanna have a separate payroll account?
Nope. If I allocate the money for payroll, I'm gonna need to juggle, struggle, pay the lights of the building, I still the IRS's money.
Okay.
Okay, general account, all from the same,
Okay.
okay? And B of A loves to give you double accounts anyway. Okay, no extra cost, so you get one for like savings and checking, it's tied together. Corporation, I got an LLC, fantastic. All right, you making money? S Corp. I got a C Corp, making money, I'm gonna be an S Corp. S is the biggest way you get a paycheck. Your paycheck, if you get a paycheck, what are you gonna do? Your house payment offsets the taxes. You can break even, that's the goal, break even. But our goal is this. How do we disconnect the division? Okay? We have to be careful, okay? This assets are here. Assets are owned by the corporation. We have a lease, a loan, and management agreement. We have to master these correctly, lease, loan, management agreement. This means the assets belong to the corporation, and if the division screws up, I'm gonna disconnect, I say incorporate. If I see a problem, I have to have the intent to solve a problem. If I bankrupt right away, that trustee can tear me apart. I wanna say, well, why would you get rid of it anyway if you can save it? You worked your tail off for 3 years and it's going good and all of a sudden you have a problem, let's see if we can solve the problem. But we still disconnect, isolate, incorporate. If I can't solve the problem, what am I gonna do?
Disconnect, isolate.
I'm gonna bankrupt it, I'm sorry. I have automatic stay. Okay, cities file bankruptcies, grocers file bankruptcy, I can file bankruptcy. I can say, go away, sorry. If I end the problem, it's over, okay? Again, I don't want it dragging me down, taking my LLC and my 10 properties. I don't want it, nonprofit. Nonprofit gets sued too, okay? Be careful, okay? Because nonprofit gets sued, so can profit. Now, UCC1. I already said who owns the assets. A UCC1, they're filed two. One's filed at county recorder's office, and one's gonna be filed state to state. Let's follow what this really means. If a division is the debtor, and the corporation, same state, secure party, this is gonna be county recorder's office. No problem. State to state means you have a Nevada corporation in the future, you have an LLC. That means it's gonna be filed in California, and say the owner is Nevada. Okay, state to state. So we're gonna have two UCC1s. Why should we put a UCC1 on our own stuff? Because it's not our stuff. The assets belong to the corporation, no, they belong to another corporation. If you have assets in your company, your city can charge you a tax on the assets you paid for. They're paid for, they wanna tax you on your own stuff. Usury tax. You wanna pay tax on your own stuff? I don't think so.
No.
But if this corp owns the assets, and I pledge the assets over here, if this screws up with the divisions, who will repossess the assets? When you start over, if you had to, you have the assets, you have no debt because you bankrupted, what do you do now?
Ooh.
Okay? You have the assets and no debt, you just bankrupt because you had to solve a problem, and now you have assets. What do? You build again. Assets create money, don't they?
Yeah,
We can sell assets, create some cash flow.
yeah.
Okay? Because when blank hits the fan, what do we have? A problem. UCC1, you have to master that form. Partners, please do not have partners in a project, please.
Can we pause 1 second on the UCC one?
Yes.
So on the UCC one, if you get the UCC one on a corporation, or the corporation owns the UCC one, then the corporation in Nevada owns that. So how does that process work? My brain is trying to catch up to that.
We're probably gonna go through the form next.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Gotcha.
Just wait, there's more. Ever since I put the info commercial, everybody says it now. Partners,